The Estadio de Ponte Grande was the Corinthians' first home. Located near the Ponte das Bandeiras, where the Clube de Regatas Tite now stands, the land was granted to the club by the São Paulo City Hall in 1916, thanks to the efforts of the politician Alcântara Machado, father of the writer of the same name. Machado worked to ensure that the Corinthians acquired the land and transformed it into a sports venue. The acquisition was a significant milestone that helped the club rise to the level of its rivals, Paulistano and Germania. The Corinthians rallied their officials, players, and supporters to build the stadium through a collective effort. The stadium was completed in January 1918, and its inauguration took place on March 14th of that year, with the arch-rival Palestra Italia in attendance. The São Paulo press praised the new sports ground, highlighting its facilities and the pitch. Alcântara Machado kicked off the game, and the Associação dos Cronistas Esportivos de São Paulo, the ACESP, provided a trophy for competition. After an initial draw, the teams played another match, which Palestra Italia won 4-2. The Corinthians used the Estadio de Ponte Grande until 1927, although they occasionally held matches at Parque Antarctica and Campo de Floresta for larger crowds. In 1926, following the purchase of the Parque São Jorge land by President Ernesto Cassano, the club began its relocation. The Estadio de Ponte Grande was then transferred to the AA São Bento, an extinct club, which paid 40,000 reais to Corinthians for the site. Although the Estadio de Ponte Grande did not host major titles for the team out, it was the venue for many matches during the state championships of 1922, 1923, and 1924, and also hosted some friendly cup games. The Brazilian national team also played there in a friendly against Corinthians in 1925, which ended in a 1-1 draw. Despite its historical significance to the Corinthians, there are few photographic records of the stadium. The Alfredo Schurrig Stadium, commonly known as Parque São Jorge or Fazendinha, serves as the official home of Sport Club Corinthians Paulista and has a current seating capacity of approximately 16,000. Located within Parque São Jorge in the Tatuapé neighborhood on the east side of São Paulo, the stadium is primarily used for training sessions and matches for the club's youth teams, as well as games for Corinthians women's soccer and American football teams. The professional team has played 469 official matches at the stadium, achieving 347 wins, 60 draws, and 62 losses, with a total of 1,332 goals scored and 480 conceded. Parque São Jorge spans 158,000 square meters and includes several multipurpose courts, 2 gymnasiums, a panoramic restaurant, as well as the club's social and administrative headquarters, and one of the largest water parks in Brazil. In 1926, club president Ernesto Cassano, along with partners Alfredo Schurrig and Vladimir de Toledo Pisa, purchased the land of Parque São Jorge from a Sport Clube Serio. The land, located in the Tatuapé neighborhood near the Tite River, naturally lent itself to association with St. George, and the club's emblem also incorporated anchors and oars in reference to the river. From the 1940s to the 1960s, as football and Corinthians grew in popularity, the most significant matches were held at the Estadio Municipal Paulo Machado de Carvalho, known as Pacaembu, relegating Fazendinha to less prominent games.
The Estadio Municipal Paulo Machado de Carvalho, commonly known as Estadio do Pacaembu, is located at Charles Miller Square, at the end of Pacaembu Avenue, in the Pacaembu neighborhood in the central region of São Paulo, Brazil. Owned by the city's municipal government, the stadium can be rented by various local football teams for their matches. At the time of its opening, it was regarded as the largest and most modern football stadium in South America, with a seating capacity of 70,000 spectators. The inaugural match took place the day after the stadium's opening on April 28, 1940, between Palestra Italia, now known as Sociedade Esportiva Palmeiras, and Curitiba, with the São Paulo team winning 6-2. A second game followed immediately after, featuring Corinthians and Clube Atlético Mineiro, invited by the city government, with Corinthians emerging victorious 4-2. Sport Club Corinthians Paulista is the team that has played the most games at Pacaembu, with a total of 1,690 matches. Corinthians fans consider Pacaembu their home, as the Alfredo Schurrig Stadium, also known as Fazendinha or Estadio do Parque São Jorge, lacks the capacity to host official matches. At Pacaembu, Corinthians experienced many memorable moments and secured several titles, including 2 Rio SP tournaments, 3 São Paulo State Championships, 1 Brazilian Championship, and the historic Copa Libertadores in 2012.
And finally, in 2014, Corinthians now has its own stadium, modern and luxurious according to the highest standards of quality. One of the best stadiums in the world where many players from other teams constantly praise it. The Neo Quimica Arena, the newest football stadium of Sport Club Corinthians Paulista, is situated in Itaquera, in São Paulo's eastern zone. It was officially opened on May 18, 2014, with a match between Corinthians and Figueirense in the Brazilian Serie A, where Corinthians lost 1-0. Prior to this, a special event took place on May 10, featuring a match between Corinthians and Corinthians, with more than 100 former players from the club's history in attendance. The decision to build the stadium was officially announced on September 1, 2010, during Corinthians' centennial celebration at Vale do Anhangabaú, which was attended by around 150,000 people. Construction began on May 30, 2011, at 8:14 a.m. on a 197,000 square meter site. By April 15, 2014, the stadium was symbolically handed over to Corinthians, with 98% of the construction completed. However, the club still considers some details unfinished. Architect Anibal Coutinho designed the Neo Quimica Arena, which covers 189,000 square meters. The design aimed to differentiate it from other stadiums globally by providing a regular shape to bring fans closer to the pitch and ensure better visibility. The stadium includes two main structures, the West and East buildings. The West building features a glass facade with 1,350 panels, measuring 240 meters in length and 30 meters in height. It houses VIP areas, suites, media zones, and the notable atrium, which displays the large Corinthians emblem. On the East building's exterior, one of the world's largest LED panels was installed, measuring 170 meters in width and 20 meters in height. The stadium also includes the South and North stands. The South stand has seating, with a section allocated for visiting fans, while the North stand is for organized supporters and does not have seating. Two large screens, each 30 meters by 7.5 meters, are installed on either side of the stadium. These are the largest screens in football stadiums globally, displaying images both for those inside and outside the venue. The Neo Quimica Arena has a current seating capacity of 48,234. The roof structure over part of the pitch was designed to enhance the acoustic experience during games. The pitch itself is regarded as one of the best globally. Prepared by World Sports, the field is made from ryegrass, as opposed to the more commonly used Bermuda grass, with seed sourced from Oregon, USA. A system of 40,000 meters of drainage pipes maintains the optimal temperature of the pitch, and the entire surface was reinstalled at the end of 2017. Another interesting detail is the pitch's elevation, exactly 777 meters above sea level, a deliberate choice to commemorate the 1977 Paulista Championship, a significant title in Corinthians history. Within less than 4 years of its opening, the Neo Quimica Arena became the only stadium in São Paulo to host both the World Cup and the Olympics. In 2014, it hosted 6 FIFA World Cup matches, including the opening game between Brazil and Croatia on June 12. The stadium also served as the venue for the opening ceremony, which lasted approximately 25 minutes. The semi-final match between the Netherlands and Argentina on July 9 drew the largest crowd ever recorded at the arena, with 63,267 attendees, not including the temporary stands set up for the World Cup. 2 years later, in August 2016, the stadium hosted football events during the Rio 2016 Olympics. It was the site of 6 women's tournament matches, including one involving Brazil against Canada for the bronze medal, and 4 men's tournament matches, including a quarterfinal featuring Brazil against Colombia. 3 years after its inauguration, Corinthians launched the Tour Casa do Povo, a guided tour of the arena. The tour allows visitors to explore the stadium's internal areas, including the dressing rooms, walk on the pitch, and take photos from various spots. With established success in hosting Corinthians matches and high attendance, the arena's management is now focusing on expanding its activities and increasing revenue. Future projects include developing sports complexes with basketball courts and skate parks.